And now to a one and only exclusive. Local 10 News, the only South Florida station to get up close with the Miami Seaquarium's famed killer whale, Lolita. It's the first time we're seeing her since she retired, and Louie got a chance to see her firsthand.
I did. There is a new sense of urgency to move her out of her pool after recent photos of her habitat and the stadium went viral. I was invited by the Seaquarium to see for myself what that looks like and to see how Toki is doing right now.
She is as majestic and as powerful as ever. This the first time a news crew has been allowed into the whale stadium to see Tokite since she was retired from performing at the Miami Seaquarium in March of 2022 when the now 57-year-old orca went by the stage name Lolita.
She's doing very well. Behaviorally, she's doing great. She has great energy. Her blood work is stable.
Local 10 was invited to see Toki after recent images were posted on social media showing the current state of her pool and the stadium that surrounds it. Paint is peeling, there is visible spalling, and there is shoring underneath the structure. The stadium was deemed unsafe by Miami-Dade County back in August of 2021 and has been closed to the public ever since. Now, for the first time ever, the Miami Seaquarium is publicly admitting it's time to get Toki out.
We need to put her somewhere to repair this.
Eduardo Albor is the CEO of the Dolphin Company, the new owners of the Miami Seaquarium. He inherited the whale stadium in its dilapidated conditions when his company took over from the previous owners, Palace Entertainment, in March of last year.
Does that concern you?
Well, it concerns us, definitely. And it requires a very deep maintenance. The only way to do it is to empty the tank, obviously to remove her, and empty the tank. We cannot do it while she's sitting here.
But where will she go? There is no other habitat in the park large enough and deep enough for her to live. And Albor is now open to the possibility of releasing Toki to an enclosed, fully staffed natural sea pen in the Pacific Northwest, like this one, in the same waters where she was captured as a 4-year-old calf in 1970, and where her family, the L-Pod, still swims through today. But first, they need to get her ready, and improving her health and present quality of life is paramount.
How much money has been invested in improving the water quality?
Well, I'm more than $500,000.
Since the spring of 2022, the Seaquarium has been working with the nonprofit Friends of Toki to provide optimal care and together figure out what her best future would be. Getting her water right was critical.
So that's where the water will be sterilized by the ozone, and then it goes into our reservoir pool.
Over the past few months, new upgrades have been installed to better filter her pool and regulate the water temperature. New chillers can now get the temp down to mimic the waters of the Pacific Northwest.
It's at 56 to 58, but we can get it down to 50 if we want to with the new chillers.
Partica says the pool is scrubbed and vacuumed 4 times a week. And as for the health scares that saw Toki gravely ill both in February and October of 2022, defying all odds, Toki has bounced back strong.
Toki's doing great. We're increasing her interactive time. We're trying to find ways to entertain her throughout the day, keep doing that plan, get her more exercise, and then just start getting her ready for the move.
Now, before Toki can be moved from this habitat, she has to be trained to voluntarily swim onto a stretcher. That training has yet to begun.
But it's happening. It'll be a stretcher like this one. Putting it in her tank to get her used to seeing it is step 1.
And we will be starting that very shortly.
Friends of Toki says the move could take months, if not a couple of years, to finalize. But if, for whatever reason, they need to get her out sooner, they say she's ready.
If the move will happen like this or next week, she could do it right now. She's in as good as in health condition as good as needed for a transportation, but we need to keep her as stable as it is.
She has such a strong life force. Millions of people around the world would like to see Toki return to the Salish Sea and live the rest of her life in a natural sea pen, but that is not a done deal just yet. Both federal and state regulatory agencies would need to approve it, and that, as I said, will take months, maybe even years, if at all. Friends of Toki say the application process has already begun, but it's not the only option on the table. We'll explore what else is being discussed in part 2 of our special report airing tomorrow on Local 10 News.